Good morning, everyone. Today, we'll unpack how the global market works, why nations trade, how they do it, and what shapes global trade today. Countries trade because no one can produce everything efficiently. That's called comparative advantage, focusing on what you do best and trading for the rest. For instance, Afghanistan exports saffron, Germany exports cars, and both benefit. When a nation is simply better than others at producing something, that's absolute advantage, like Saudi Arabia in oil. We track trade using balance of trade, exports minus imports. A surplus means you sell more than you buy. Trade deficit, you buy more than you sell. The US often runs one. Balance of payments, a full record of all trade, investment, and money flows. Sometimes countries dump goods, selling below cost to capture a market, like cheap steel exports that undercut local producers. There are many ways to enter global markets. Exporting, selling abroad, like Afghan dried fruits to India. Licensing, letting another company use your brand or technology. Disney does this with toys. Franchising, replicating a business model globally. McDonald's, KFC. Contract manufacturing, outsourcing production. Apple makes iPhones in China. Joint ventures, shared projects, Sony and Ericsson for mobile phones. Strategic alliances, partnerships without ownership, Starbucks and PepsiCo for bottled drinks. Foreign direct investment, FDI, investing directly, Toyota building a plant in India. Multinational corporations, MNCs, firms operating in many countries, Nestlé, Samsung. Sovereign wealth funds, SWFs, government investment funds like Norway's oil fund. Trade is shaped by four main forces: socio-cultural, customs, language, and values. Businesses must adapt. What works in New York may not work in Tokyo. Economic and financial, currency, inflation, and stability. Devaluation lowers a currency to boost exports. Counter-trading swaps goods when money is limited. Legal and regulatory. Every country has its own laws on safety, labor, and ownership. Example, the EU's strict environmental rules. Physical and environmental. Geography and infrastructure matter. Landlocked nations like Afghanistan face higher transport costs. Trade protectionism means limiting imports to protect local industries. Tariffs, taxes on imports. Protective tariffs defend local producers, like US tariffs on steel. Revenue tariffs raise money for the government. Import quotas limit how much can enter. Embargo, total ban, like the US embargo on Cuba. Non-tariff barriers, rules or standards that make trade harder. To manage trade fairly, countries created the GATT in 1948, later replaced by the World Trade Organization, WTO, which I've had the privilege to work with on least developed countries' accession. The WTO sets global trade rules and resolves disputes so trade flows smoothly. Common markets like the European Union remove trade barriers and allow free movement of goods, services, and people. Offshore outsourcing happens when companies move production or services abroad to cut costs. For example, IT support to India or manufacturing to Vietnam. It saves money but can cause job losses and raises ethical concerns. Finally, globalization is connecting the world's economies, cultures, and ideas. It brings opportunities for innovation, online trade, and global collaboration, but also more competition. For countries like Afghanistan, the future lies in connectivity, trade facilitation, and digital skills to compete globally. Trade isn't just about products, it's about people, cooperation, and progress. If managed wisely, it can turn borders into bridges.
Trade builds prosperity when guided by fairness, cooperation, and knowledge.